Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We have another customer job here. This is a good customer of ours. It's this 2008 crew cab long bed 6.7 68 truck. You guys might remember we did tires, leaf springs, airbags, front end work, water pump, belt, serpentine. He basically bought this truck at auction and uses it as an everyday vehicle, I believe, for his construction business. He brought it back to us for some more upgrades. The first one being a gooseneck hitch plug in the bed, which will be right about there, as well as a updated brake controller, and it has a popping noise in four-wheel drive. Generally, you'll check the U-joints. Dave and I already checked that. The only thing that remains to be unchecked is the transfer case. When they start popping like that, unfortunately, we heard this popping noise a long time ago and I didn't get it on film. But basically, you put it in four-wheel drive and you'll hear like a clunk, 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 clunk noise. And if you trust your friend, let him drive, you lay on the ground, you'll hear it. It comes right, it sounds like somebody smacking the transfer case. So what that means is the chain is more than likely loose, allowing it to kind of skip a tooth on the sprockets inside. So we're gonna go ahead, get this thing torn apart, rebuild it. We got chains, sprockets, gaskets, bearings, seals, and a new pump. Anytime they've been chewing up that much junk, we'll just get it replaced. So let's get to work.
We've had a couple, I guess, transfer case videos, but on this one, we're actually going to tear into this Np271 transfer case. You'll find this is the manual shift version, and we are going to be going through it. We have a whole host of parts here. We have all the seal kits. We have this bushing here. This is where your drive shaft actually rides on. We have a new pump. We have factory gears, which are very important to have. The factory gears, they're a lot stronger. And then, of course, we have this Borg Warner chain. These are definitely my favorite as far as strength, quality, reliability goes. So we got that chain. And then inside of this box, I'm actually not even sure what we're gonna find in here. Let's open it together, shall we? Some more gaskets, which is quite strange, but these should be a lot of the bigger bearings. Yep. So we got, and you guys will have to forgive me, I actually don't know a lot about the transfer cases as far as what the parts are actually called. When I rebuild these, I generally just, rebuild them. I don't pay too much attention to the nomenclature. I know what I need. These are all the wearables, some more of the small bearings. These are your tangs for your shift forks. I'm assuming another bearing and another bearing. So very simple to do this. This guy's drain plug was already stripped out. Dave tried his best to get it hammered out to no avail. So what I'll do, since we have to split this apart, we'll drill through it, use an easy out, get it out, and then put a new plug in. They are, let's see here, I actually just saw one. They're somewhere around here. It's not super messy, but a little hard to find stuff at times, even with them all spread out. But anyway, we'll get a new plug put into this as well. So what we'll do first, we got the parts washer kicked on. I'll get the case split in half, and from there we will get it all cleaned up so we can go through and reinstall all these new parts. Sorry, the camera fell a little bit there. You guys can see here, this is what, basically this slides, right? Slides back, locks onto these rings here, and that's what will drive this gear to this gear. This basically will slide back and allow you to have four-wheel drive. So the nice part is his planetaries all look okay, which is always a good sign. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this stripped all the way down. This is also the pump there comes out. And then the other thing there is there's your pump. We got our pump tube here, which can easily come out now. But there you go. Here's some of the bearings. This is that support bearing for the front output here. And your two gears, as well as your chain, this ring. All fun stuff. From here, pull out our shift fork, and then we will pull out just move that down, and this all comes out, and that is how you get into the four-wheel low portion. Okay, and the easiest way to get this out, you just take a hammer, tap the end of this. Doesn't take a lot, just kind of tap, 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 and you'll get the planetary out. I will go ahead and get this bearing out of the way here, and then get the seal out of the way down here. And one thing I always do, I kind of lay it out the way it came apart. So this snap ring came off. This is the front planet right there, or the front output shaft. This comes off, this gear slides off, then there's a snap ring here in the case, and you just tap this through with a soft hammer. This bearing is pressed onto here. This snap ring allows everything to come off. Now from here, we're gonna get the main shaft, I guess you'd say, out. This snap ring, gear, call it, and we'll just work our way back. And there you have it. That one big snap ring holds that whole shaft in there. So now what I'm gonna do is get everything cleaned up in the parts washer, so that way we can move on with this project. Okay, so we have our assemblies clean, fresh gears on. You guys can see that fresh gear there. Everything's cleaned up. Here's all of our old bearings over there. We got our new bearings on. The only thing I'll tell you guys is, as I assemble this, I'm going to spray a bunch of ATF on there. We got our race punch back in. We got our output shaft seal. There's actually two of the same seal in your kit. You guys will kind of see that. And then this one's in. Then we hammered in our front one here. It goes in through the bottom. And now we're just going to go ahead and start stacking it back together. First things first is this bearing that goes in here, which is this one here. There's like 3 big roller bearings in this entire thing, so it's really hard to really screw it up. And you just kind of tap it all in. You don't want to beat the living what out of it. Just kind of work its way in there, and then we'll put the snap ring in, our planetary gear set back in, kind of keep working like that. All right, as I'm sure you guys saw, I actually want to correct the record. When we measured this chain is actually what was causing it to pop. A little bit of wear on the gears, but the chain was stretched. I want to clear the record. We got our new plastic paws here, our new plastic paws down there on the lower one as well, which let me get you guys a better look down there. And then you guys saw me, honestly, with these, like I just kind of stack them up until it fits right. I'll be honest, I don't really use a book or anything. I just take it apart and I try to put it back together quick. That way I don't forget how it went back together, but in full disclosure, that's kind of how I do it. I just kind of stack it in there. But the order you do it, you put the planetary in the snap ring, the big one down there. Then you put your little collet in, or little sleeve in with the lower fork. You kind of hold that together. And then basically I took this snap ring off. I put it back on a little too early, no big deal. And then you put the shaft in, the shaft splines in with the, this would be your 4-wheel drive, non-4-wheel drive. And from there, all we do is stack it in. And you guys saw me put the chain in both sides here, and then drop them on. Snap rings there, snap rings there. And then when you go to put them back together, it's a little easier than the way I took it apart. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the case halves together with RTV, and then we will be able to drop this bearing in here, because it goes in there, and we'll put the snap ring right here. That's that snap ring right there. And then we'll have the inner snap ring, which sits right here, which is right here. And then we also, do not forget your spring, goes right there on the shift lever. And then the last thing we'll do is put the pump on. So again, just kind of recapping here for you guys so you can see it. It's honestly, these aren't hard at all. It's one planetary. All the snap rings are very unique per each side. If you think about it, like, you take all this apart as one piece, you take all this apart as one piece, and then you combine them there at the end. It's very easy to rebuild a transfer case, guys. We have the main bearing for the main shaft installed. Guys, when you're beating on these things, if you notice, we're using wood and dead blows. You do not want to be beating on any of these bearings with a metal hammer. So pumps in, springs in. I'm confident now we're going to put this last snap ring in. Realistically, you don't even have to do that until you make the cases, but this is your last chance to make sure everything's okay. Also, I was going through all his kits and I found this seal, which is the actual seal for the drive shaft. You guys saw us replace that. And this is that replacement sleeve for where the drive shaft actually rides. If you look here, very similar. So to do that, all we're gonna do, remove this seal, which you guys have already seen us do, and then you guys can see here inside there that factory aluminum one. What I do to remove that one is I will sit there, and you see how it's a little bit recessed down. I will actually just punch that out with the new one here. It'll fit right in there just like so. And then you use a shop press and press it down in there, only and only after you have removed this seal. You guys saw us do it before, so I'm gonna get this seal swapped, this wear ring swapped, and then I will show you guys the last bit. When you're doing these aluminum ones, I know a couple of you guys have spotted it. We do use different color silicone. You guys also see all of the transmission fluid in here. Like I said, lubricate your parts. And now we will mate these two together. Pretty easy. Bead of silicone. You're gonna want to go like this around the bolt holes, like so. It'll smush. The big thing is you definitely want to go really tight to this bolt hole and stay on the lower part. You don't want any silicone getting into this tube screen area here. And you guys also notice how we cleaned all of the silicone off, but we didn't use a whiz wheel. You do not want to be using whiz wheels on this aluminum, or else it will have a tendency to leak on you. The only thing I do want to cover, these front seals, or sorry, when you make the case, you're essentially having to line up a bearing here and here, so it is a little frustrating. Just take your time. Make sure you use your alignment dowels. Now, your alignment dowels can be pressed backwards out like this. You guys see how that one is? So once you're done beating on this thing, you're gonna go ahead and just tap it back in so it will stand out on the front. So let's get this all mated up here. Okay, we got our case halves mated up. We got our new pump in. Make sure you guys install that O-ring inside here. Get your tube set up. You guys see it. You gotta kind of wiggle it. Make sure your dowel. There's only two. One's right here and the other one's on this side. And then we got this seal. Now you guys can really see where this brass needs to go right here. And again, I just use this to press out the old one, push in the new one, and then we'll put this all back together.
Alright guys, there you have it, torqued all back together, rear housing, main housing cases are put back together, and yeah, you know, she spins, so not a lot more you can ask for in these. Try to get this to, well, anyway, it's very hard to do one-handed, but trust me, she does spin. All the bearings are replaced. Alright guys, little functions check. We have 4 high, which should be hard to turn. You guys can see it spinning there. Alright, then we have 2-wheel drive. You guys see it spinning there, not spinning here. Then we have neutral. Should just free spin like so. And then we have a 4-wheel low. There we go, 4-wheel low, which makes this easy to spin because you have more of a mechanical advantage. And there you have it. All done, ready to go. Okay guys, that's gonna be a wrap. Case halves torqued, extension housing torqued, good RTV crush all the way around. From here, we'll let Dave take it away, install it in the truck. I'll let you guys know on the next video if this thing ends up being completely wrong. The only thing left is this plug. But all new fresh gaskets, seals, bearings, gears, chain. Hopefully this serves him for another 250,000 miles. Hopefully you guys like this video. Again, a little bit different. We've never done a transfer case. This is an Np271 manual shift. 3rd gen one. Realistically guys, with transfer cases, I usually just pull them apart, document how they came apart, and then put them back together in the same order. Maybe some of you guys struggle with that, and I do apologize, but that's just how my brain works. I'm able to put it back together the way I found it. And yeah, hopefully you guys like this one. Drop a comment down below, subscribe if you are not already, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.